Good morning, truckers and friends. I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday, maybe? It's been a rough few weeks, and I just got to my truck and my battery is dead. I've been off for almost 2 weeks, and I'll explain why later. Let's get this truck started. I'm going to show you how to jump a truck battery with a car. You can do it. Well, I'm afraid what I'm going to find inside my cab. There's been mice in my side box. I'm digging around in here. So yeah, it's cold. My truck won't start. It's been a hell of a couple weeks. This is not what I was hoping for this morning. So I got my son's truck here, as you can see, and I'll show you how to get into the battery compartment of Kenworth T680. So on the driver's side, I know a lot of you know this, but this is for newbies. On a T680, there's a little latch in here. I don't know if you can see that. Inside here, you're gonna squeeze it, and just this little compartment comes open, and there's your batteries. You got your positives on the back, your negatives on the front. Positive is red, black is negative. All right, let's get her done. Make sure that you don't touch your ends after you hook the battery up to the truck. Make sure they're separate. Red to positive, black to negative on the vehicle. And I've got red to the positive and black to the negative on the truck. And we're gonna sit here for about a half hour and let it charge before we do anything. So while this is charging up, I'm going to get all my stuff out of my son's truck, load it up into this truck. I tore everything out of it when I got home 2 weeks ago. My laundry, my bedding, rugs, everything that was in here, I took it home. Mostly to not waste time, but I was stalling. And I'll let you know why later. But right now, I'm gonna get all this stuff out of the truck and get it up in here. All right, it's been, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so. The voltage still doesn't look right. There were little mice in my truck or something. Oh, I don't know if they're still in here. I'm not looking forward to finding out. I don't know. I'm tired and I really don't want to deal with all this right now this morning. I just wanted to get on the road. I knew I should have come over here yesterday to get this stuff straightened out, but I woke up with a horrible cold and it was pouring rain. It was pouring rain and I just could not get myself out of my pajamas, let alone over here to do this stuff. I just want to cry. And you know what? I want my daddy and I can't. I love you, Dad. This sucks. This literally sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna go back there and straighten out my truck and find out if there's any mice in there and what else they chewed. There's little pieces of things that they tore up everywhere. I'm not a happy girl this morning. Trucking, y'all. You know what? It's just life. It's not trucking. It's just life. Life is what it is. I feel really short because the air's not built up in the truck, so I'm sitting super low. I feel little. But anyway, life is what it is, and has nothing to do with trucking. I could have been going to any job this morning. But here we are. Anyway, I'll go back there and see what we got. I'm scared to look. I'm very scared to look. I gotta go back and organize things. Obviously, I don't have time to make my bed and all that this morning now anyway, but at least we got clean sheets. I just gotta make sure there's no critters in my bed. Ooh. That would be a horrible thing to find out in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. Everything in my refrigerator is garbage. I don't have any food for the truck this week, so this ought to be fun. So they were in my paper towels. The bottom of the box to get into that one. Mouse poop in here. You got to be kidding me. I hope they got out. I hope it got out. I hope they got out. I hope they ain't in here anymore. I don't know what to do. I have stuff to do. This has been a rough year. It really has. It's been a rough year. Whatever. That's all I can do right now. This is ridiculous. So I am in the pickup truck and I'm revving up the engine a little bit. I'm revving it up to about 2,500 just to help it along a little bit. It'll take forever if you don't. So, and make sure that you have everything off in your vehicle, your radio, your heaters, all that stuff. So yeah, it's cold. I'm a little cold. I'm so ticked about the stupid mice in my truck. They got into the storage area that's under the bed. And then somehow got inside the cab. All the food in my refrigerator is bad, of course, because obviously with no battery, you've got no refrigerator. So this is not a wonderful morning to end off a horrible 2 weeks. But anyway, well, maybe I should tell you what happened now while I'm sitting here waiting. I don't know if I can do it without crying. I got a phone call from my stepmom that said that my dad had fallen at the nursing home. He's been in a nursing home for about 2 years. He had a stroke when he was 49. A pretty severe stroke. He almost lost his life that time. But after extensive, therapy and rehabilitation and all, he was okay. He was paralyzed on his entire left side of his body, so he had to relearn how to live again, and he did a very good job. They even sold the house down here in Illinois and bought a farm up in Wisconsin. He did all the things he could have done with a whole body. He did with half a body. He was amazing. He learned how to do all kinds of things with one hand that most people can't do with two. They found him on the floor in his room, unresponsive, and so they called 911 and got him over to the hospital. After my dad's first stroke, he could still talk, he could still function, he still was mostly normal other than the whole left side of his body being paralyzed. He learned to walk again. He was walking without a cane or anything for the longest time. He wasn't in a wheelchair. It didn't slow him down. He didn't let it slow him down. So he's had about 3 other strokes before now. All have taken a little bit away, a little bit away, a little bit away, to the point where it was very hard to understand him after the last stroke he had. So she called and said, he was in the hospital. He was unresponsive. He wasn't, they would tell him, squeeze my hand if you can hear me, blink your eyes if you can hear me. There was nothing. And my dad had a DNR. He did not want to be on this earth anymore. He's been saying for a long, long time that he was done here and that he just wanted to go up and be with his maker. And so he had a DNR. And so there was nothing they could do. They found out he couldn't swallow. They found out that he had had another stroke, but it was on the opposite side of his brain that all the other strokes had been on, which then impacted his speech, his swallowing ability, and who knows what else. He couldn't talk, so he couldn't tell us what other ailments may have been. But he kept pointing to his head and feeling his head, and we were trying to figure out, is he in pain? What's happening? Because he had the DNR, we couldn't do feeding tubes or anything like that, so they put him in hospice and sent him back to the nursing home, where they did hospice there in the nursing home in his room. So everybody got there I was lucky enough to have my trip done on Thursday night. Friday morning, shoot, I think Thursday night, I stayed here in the truck and I slept in the truck. Friday morning, I got up, got all my crap out of the truck, and I was kind of not taking my time, but stalling, I guess, because I was scared. But I knew I needed to get up to see my dad. So Friday afternoon, my son and I, Adam, my youngest, drove me up to Wisconsin, and we went and saw him. And it was very difficult to see him that way. But because he had the DNR, there was nothing we could do. They said even a feeding tube probably would have just prolonged the suffering. So he had nothing but pain medications and anxiety medications for 11 days. And on March 24th at 8:30 in the morning, he finally took his last breath. And my brother and my number 2 son, Austin, and myself were the only ones in the room. And he finally took his last breath and he passed. So it's been a rough few weeks. It was a lot of people coming and going out of that room, coming to visit him. And it was so amazing to see. It was so amazing to see all the people that loved him. He had past caregivers that didn't even work at this place anymore that came back to see him. They would come in and cry and just tell us how wonderful he was and such a good man, and he had a big heart, and he was a good Christian, faithful man. It touched a lot of people's hearts and made a big difference in this world, and I'm gonna miss him. I miss him so much. So I think I have my own guardian angel now. Pretty sure he'll be driving with me. He always wanted to come with me. I couldn't figure out how to get him up in the truck, and I was in a wheelchair, and it was very hard to move him. It was very hard to get him around, and that's why he had to go in the nursing home, because he was getting to the point where it was too hard for his wife to take care of him. It was too hard for really anybody but to take care of him, unless there were, 2 people, and he couldn't stay in his home anymore, and that devastated him. He didn't want to be in a nursing home, but it was near impossible. I tried to figure out a way how I could get him to my house, but it would be a total renovating my downstairs, and there's no bedroom down there for him. It would have been difficult. And so the nursing home was really the only place we could put him, and that breaks my heart, because I knew he never wanted to be in a nursing home. So at least he's free of this world and the body that he had that didn't work, and I sure hope he's in heaven enjoying all the wonderful things, because I miss him a lot. So that's my story, and that's why I haven't been here. We had a meeting with the funeral home on Monday. We didn't do a service. We didn't do a wake or anything. There was enough people coming in and out of his room that pretty much handled that while he was still alive. People were able to tell him that they loved him. And he didn't want a wake or a funeral or anything like that. He wanted to be cremated. So I ordered myself a tiny little urn so I can keep it with me in the truck. They ordered fingerprints to be done, so I'm going to have a tattoo of his fingerprints right here on my hand, because that was the last place he was able to hold my hand. So I'm looking forward to that. I was a daddy's girl, so this is hard. This is really hard. I miss him. I miss him a lot. But anyway, I got home Monday after the funeral home. My brother and I left. My number 2 son, Austin, was up there for the last few days. Adam had to leave, so Austin stayed with me. And after the funeral home meeting on Monday, we left Wisconsin, got back home here, Monday night. When I woke up Tuesday morning, I woke up with a cold. And then this morning, tried to get up and get on my way fairly early. And then I come over here, and the battery in the truck is kaput. So, and then I find the mice. It's just been one thing after another. I'm ready for a break right now. And it's cold. And it's snowing. But it is what it is. So that's why I haven't been here. That's why you haven't gotten any videos from me. I'm brokenhearted. And this has been very difficult to talk about, but my dad loved watching my YouTube videos, so I'm not going to stop making them. He loved it when I put all the cars on there. He was an auto body guy, and he did lots of cars. If you haven't seen my videos where I've put a few of his cars that he did way back when, somewhere we've got a book where with more pictures of the cars that he painted back in the day before he got sick. He used to do Chicago auto car shows and paint cars for there. Oh my gosh, some of the cars he did were just beautiful, and I wish I could find those pictures. I think I have a few, but there was so many that we didn't get pictures of. So as soon as I find those, I'll put them out here too. He was such a good man. Very, very talented. He used to write poems. We got all his poems, and I think we're going to make a book and maybe try to sell them for stroke research. Whatever we can make off of that. We're going to send to a stroke research charity or something. I don't know. His poems were beautiful. He used to play guitar and sing. So we had my nephew played guitar. My brother played guitar in his room. And right outside his door at the nursing home was the piano, and my nephew plays piano beautifully. I'll put some clips of those things in here. It was wonderful. While he was able to still hear Ian play, you could see a difference in his demeanor. Even though he couldn't talk and he couldn't communicate, he still found a way to tell us with his eyes that he was very happy he could hear Ian play. And then my niece, Anna, read him a story that she wrote for school and got like perfect scores on, and it was beautiful, about her trip to Ecuador. It was just gorgeous. If I can get that on here, if I can get their permission, I'll put that on here too. It was just beautiful. And she read it to him and held his hand. And he kept reaching for her while she was reading it. It was beautiful. So that's how my last 2 weeks have been. But now I got my daddy riding with me. Anyway, I gotta go see if the silly truck will start. I'm not gonna worry about all the crap that the mice did right now because I gotta get on the road. I don't have to be to Ohio until tomorrow morning. I wanted to get there early enough to do my 10-hour break in their lot. That way I'm there at 7 o'clock in the morning and ready to roll with a fresh clock. So that was the plan. I'm hoping it'll still work. It's still fairly early. It's only 9:15 right now on Wednesday. And like I said, I don't have to be there till 7 a.m. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's go check this truck. See if it's done. Well, as you can probably hear, I got the truck started and I forgot to video it. But I had to wait probably 40 minutes for it to charge up enough for it to start. And I got it started. I went back home, took my son his truck, and then he brought me back here. I had to unload all the garbage from the refrigerator. That didn't make it because the refrigerator was not on for I don't know how long. So I just threw away all my food. And I got a bunch of stuff back there I got to do, but I don't have time now, so I got to get on the road. I'm going to pick up a load in Rockford. It's right there by our shop, so it's not terribly far. I have about 40 minutes to get there. But anyway, I'm already tired and I just want to go home. I still feel like crap. Oh, what a morning already. Anywho, I gotta call my mama and see how she's doing. My parents were divorced, but she's having a hard time with this thing too. Everybody's sad. Everybody's sad. So I gotta call and check with my mama. I'll catch up with you on the road somewhere. They were inside the drawers. There was nesting back in this thing where I keep my little vacuum. How can these tiny little boogers be so destructive? Oy, oy, oy. I'm glad I took all my bedding and stuff home to wash. I've been vacuuming and cleaning since I got backed into the dock here where I'm getting loaded in Rockford. Thankfully, they're taking a while. Oh, I'm afraid they're still in here somewhere. I haven't heard or seen anything. Hopefully the little turds got out. I'm so frustrated. This is not what I wanted to come back to. And no food. What a pain in the butt. This has been ridiculous. I'm just kind of throwing everything up on my hooks up there to get it out of the way. I need to make the bed yet, and hopefully they're not still in here. If I feel critters running around on me tonight when I go take my 10-hour break, somebody might hear me screaming. I thought they were cute. They're not so cute anymore. Maybe it's just to get my mind off everything else that's going on and all the crazy things in my brain. It's helping. It's helping get everything else off my mind. So maybe it's a blessing. All right, y'all. I hope they're done here pretty soon. I want to get on the road. I've been vacuuming all this paper towel crap nesting from these mice all over the truck. I've been finding more and more spots where they got into. I haven't checked the cupboards up top yet. This is insane. Anyway, I'll let you know if I find any more. I don't like it. I don't like that they were in here. I feel violated. I feel violated. This is crazy. All right. Talk to you in a bit. Look at all these trucks across from our warehouse here in Rockford. So yeah, I look like crap. I feel like crap. I've got a really bad cold. I woke up this morning and it was 73 degrees in my truck and I was freezing, like jaw-chattering freezing. So I think I had a fever just to top off my whole week. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like crap, but we gotta roll. As soon as my clock lets me, we're gonna roll. I should go back there and sweep out this trailer, I suppose. I don't feel like it. I'm dragging booty. I'm dragging booty right now. Look at this car. That's awesome. I have no idea what that is.
about the way howler monkeys scream in the rain. Their beckoning cries echo throughout the jungle, ensuring that they are heard by every living creature. It is as equally terrifying as it is awe-inducing when you are standing under the canopy of the rainforest and hear the sudden roar of this ferocious beast, only to later find out that they are simply searching for their family. I heard a theory that the noise of the downpour in the jungle makes it difficult for these primates to hear each other, and so they bellow from the bottom of their bellies and they scream towards the sky, demonic-like noises aimed at the heavens, hoping that they would not lose one another, hoping that they would find peace amidst the chaos. If this theory is true, then the howler monkeys are not as scary as they may seem. They are simply searching for each other. They are simply looking for community. They are simply searching for connection. They are simply longing for what every other living creature on this ever-spinning planet longs for, a home. The rain brings out this longing in every creature. When the animals feel the first rainfall or hear the chorus of raindrops going pitter-patter on the rooftops, they begin to feel this longing. The smallest of ants retreat into their colonies, digging the soil so far up that the water does not wash them away. This is how they have survived for millions of years. The worms, on the other hand, would hear that pitter-patter and emerge from the soil. They celebrate the rain. The sloths are far too slow to gain shelter in time, so they cling to the branches, staying so very still. The algae that grows on the back of sloths is thankful that the sloth does not move. The algae is now able to grow, turning the sloth ever so slightly green. The birds make their nests in the high canopies of the trees, built with twigs and branches that are resilient enough to withstand the downpour. The frogs begin to venture further from the pond they call home, the abundance of water allowing their habitat to expand. The rain brings a sense of adventure for the frog. Humans, inherently curious beings, have spent centuries studying these creatures and their ecosystems, from their daily routines to their diets to the things that make them happy and angry and fearful and everything in between. We have given different names to different phenomena in nature, hoping we can pretend to understand the vast, confusing, ever-changing planet we call home. We have nurtured, cherished, preserved, exploited, loved, polluted, and degraded our planet. We have made countless discoveries about the functions of our ecosystems, thousands of books written to pass on the knowledge of these discoveries, and endless experiments conducted to repair our misunderstandings. We have discovered the inner workings of our planet and concluded that every living thing is reliant on one another for survival, that by luck or by purpose we were snapped into existence and forcefully gifted the ability to experience each day on a planet we believe we know so much about. Yet unlike the rest of the creatures on this planet, we don't allow ourselves to feel the rain. We have found ways to combat the downpour and keep ourselves dry. We zip up our raincoats, we put up our umbrellas, we walk through life sheltered from the cold, trying to avoid this rain. As much as we have learned spending millions of years on the planet, we have evolved into animals who are afraid to get wet. We have gained endless information about mathematics and history and the politics of our present time and the opinions we should or shouldn't have and the things we should hate and love and the people we are allowed to be. Yet despite all this learning and discovering, we fail to notice the ants retreating into their colonies, or the worms deciding to emerge from the soil, the lazy sloth yawning loudly, the birds chirping in their nests, the frogs venturing beyond. We never seem to notice the way howler monkeys call out to each other in the rain. So much discovered, so much we think we know, yet so much we actually live by. We claim every species is interconnected and reliant on one another for survival. We claim the key to sustaining life on this planet is interaction and cooperation, yet we fight wars and we hurt one another and we push ourselves into a corner and we bottle up our feelings and we force ourselves into isolation. We begin to lose sight of the beauty of forgetting our umbrella at home. The beauty of experiencing the rain, slipping in the mud, holding hands and rolling in the dirt, planting new life, watching it grow, opening our hearts and our souls to strangers during long talks around a campfire, taking long car rides, discovering new favorite songs, comforting embraces that wash the woes away, a mother's touch, a best friend's smile. It is when we begin to notice that we are able to call out to each other in the midst of the rain, that we are able to find our comfort, our peace, and our home.
It's beautiful.